Hello you guys, and welcome to Abundantly Minimal. My name is Sarah, and thank you so much for joining me for today's decluttering video. Today I have over 50 things that I am decluttering to show you. Those of you who have been watching my channel for a long time know that I often do a monthly anti-haul video in which I show you the items I'm getting rid of that month, and I'm kind of doing away with that anti-haul title, I guess, if you will, but I am going to still be showing the things I'm decluttering as usual, and I'm still going to show this on a regular basis, but I have pooled items a little bit more so to do it seasonally, I think. All of us have different needs and desires and wants and items, so of course the items I'm decluttering may give you a lot of value, and if so, totally keep them. I'm not telling you to get rid of them. I just want to show you things that I'm decluttering in case maybe it's something you don't really need in your life, or maybe certain of these items will spark other ideas of items that you no longer need and could let go of them. So let's begin. First up, we have a pair of yoga pants. Now, I love yoga pants, but I must admit, I have a total of 3 pairs, or at least had. I decided to declutter my least favorite pair. So these are nice. I bought them used. They are the brand Lululemon, but they were my least favorite of the pairs that I had, so we're getting rid of it. Jake is decluttering a pair of his jeans. They did get a hole in the knee. Now, some people do wear holey jeans. That's not really Jake's thing, so we are getting rid of these. Got an extra toothbrush here. We have multiple extra toothbrushes, and a lot of them are actually bamboo toothbrushes, so we're excited to be trying to ditch plastic in that area, but definitely different organizations need toothbrushes, so this is a great thing to donate. Obviously, it's brand new. We are getting rid of our pizza cutter. At one point, I think we had 3, and this is the last one we kept, but we realized that when we make pizza, we actually prefer using kitchen shears to cut up the pieces rather than the pizza cutter. Next up, I have this scarf. Now, I genuinely adore this scarf. I think it's so beautiful, it's so soft. The real truth, though, is I never wear it. Like literally never. I even had talked about in a past decluttering video how I had these scarves and I just didn't know what to do with them. I wasn't sure if I should keep them or not. I kept it because I love it, but I don't wear it and I won't wear it. And it's not fair to this lovely scarf here to just chill in the closet when it is so beautiful. I just don't like wearing scarves and I don't want to wear scarves. Besides the winter ones for outside. So it definitely needs a better home than what I've been doing. So we're gonna get rid of this. Next up, we have 2 of these little reusable bag type things. Normally for holiday gifts, I don't really like giving actual gifts, so I'll do charitable donations in the name of others. And so because of that, from all these different charities we've donated to throughout the years, they try to send us a lot of promotional items. And unfortunately, it's really tough to get yourself actually removed from their whole contact list. So Doctors Without Borders sent us this bag in the mail. It's like, really? I didn't need a bag, so we are getting rid of this. And then Jake recently had to get a new pair of dress shoes. We'll talk about it why, but they, instead of coming in a shoebox, came in this reusable bag here. We don't really need this bag. This is a random sock that we realized we had somehow picked up from the shared laundry in our apartment complex. So we don't know who it belongs to. We're gonna put it back down there in case someone wants to look for it. But another great hack if you have any lonely socks is to use them for cleaning rags or cleaning purposes. We already have plenty of socks for this purpose, so we don't need any more cleaning socks, but this can be a really great option. Jake is getting rid of these pajama pants. They were getting so worn out, the elastic wasn't staying up, and so at that point, they can't really be very useful. As I was mentioning, these are Jake's old dress shoes. Now, he was a trooper and wore these a long time, including after part of the sole was gone and there was a clear hole in it. If it rained, water would get inside. These were actually, he had them so long, these were actually leather, but he was able to get a pair of nice black dress shoes that are a vegan leather or a vegan product, completely certified vegan, sustainable, ethically made product. So that was really cool. That's the ultimate victory. I love it when you can wear something out to the point that it is destroyed and you can't wear it anymore, even if you want to. We are getting rid of these. There's actually currently a shoe recycling drive that's happening close by in our local park district. So they will take shoes like this, which is really cool because obviously you can't donate something that's this bad. I recently read this book. It is called Powerful Educator. It was a book that I had won from a raffle from a professional development workshop about a year ago, but it was a great book. I'm going to be passing this on to another teacher at my school to probably put it in the teacher's lounge and say free, and someone will probably take it who wants to read it. It was my birthday back in October, so I got some birthday cards. To be honest, I don't really like birthday cards, or just cards in general I don't really like. I'd rather people save their couple bucks or however much they're spending on cards for something else, especially if there's not like, if someone doesn't really want to write like a heartfelt message. Like, I love heartfelt messages, but the card itself I could kind of care less about. My past self used to, at one point, this was when I was a kid, but I would save every card. I don't do that anymore, so just recycling these. 2 oven mitts we're getting rid of. These had both seen better days, and how many oven mitts do you really need? We have one other one we're using, so we're getting rid of these. Now the next 4 items were promotional items. Jake was very sweet to go take care of getting condo insurance for us. We recently purchased a condo, and part of the loan process, they want you to have a policy lined up. So he stopped into the office of our insurance company to set that up, which was very sweet of him. What I didn't like was that he accepted a bunch of these stupid free items that are promotional that we don't want. So these are the like can holders, which we don't even drink anything that comes in a can. So there's 2 of these we're getting rid of. And then I don't even know what these are. I think they might have something to do with your phone, like a pocket. But again, like, we don't need this. It's the best thing possible to refuse these kind of items if they're not going to add any value, because, you know, what's the point? And will anyone actually want this? Probably not. This is something I talked about a while ago, but I had needed to wash it, and then it was just chilling in our donation bin for a while. I'm getting rid of my old teacher bag I used to use. Now, this was a gift. I definitely got a lot of wear out of it. Used it, I think, for about 2 years in the classroom, or at least bringing my stuff to the classroom. But one thing I was getting caught up in was hauling the same stuff that I didn't need back and forth between school and home every day. Like, you might bring a stack of papers. Maybe fellow teachers can relate, or maybe other jobs too. You bring a certain thing that you intend to get to, and it goes back and forth for like 2 weeks before you actually deal with it. That was my own experience. Many of you are probably more together than that, but I actually talk a little bit about it in a vlog over on my teacher YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, I'll link it below if you're a fellow teacher or interested in teacher things. But overall, I felt like I was using this as a crutch, and that I didn't actually need to be bringing this stuff back and forth. I don't need to be bringing much home each day, since so much that we do anyway is digital. So this has definitely been something I have been trying to avoid. I have another little reusable bag thing here we don't need. Have a swimsuit. I bought this several years ago, I think back in 2014, when I had forgotten my swimsuit on a trip. This was just like a basic, I think like Walmart swimsuit, but I don't need this. I actually bought a swimsuit before our trip this summer that was much more sustainable and great for both like actively swimming laps as well as just hanging out in the pool kind of swimming, or being on the beach or whatever. So that one swimsuit serves more purposes. Before, I had this one more so for swimming laps, even though I wasn't really swimming laps that often. That's why it's still in beautiful condition. And then I also had one that was more so for just going to the beach or a pool, or more so not like actively swimming, but just kind of hanging out. But I don't need to. The new one I have is a great fit for both, so I can donate this. Some of my favorite clothing items to declutter are when they're too big for you. These 2 items, this was a shirt and this is a dress. They don't look as flattering anymore just because they're bigger, and I've continued gradually losing weight. So always so thrilled to get these items out immediately. Even if I enjoy the item, it's just fun going back down after, for so many years, I had been gaining weight. I love this feeling again. Getting rid of these. This was a little jacket, well, not really a jacket, a little short sleeve kind of sparkly thing. I'm just not really a sparkle girl. I wore it sometimes, but I never loved it and never thought that it was really me, so it is going. I realized I was never wearing these capris much anymore, and they had some like different, like that artificial like wear stuff on there. I had purchased them used years ago, but I just wasn't choosing them. Going along with the clothing thing, I'm decluttering 4 pairs of lacy underwear. I don't care, Jake doesn't care. I like wearing comfy underwear a lot better, so you know, these things I am getting rid of. I'm going to be donating this book as well. This actually is a book that has some pretty decent worth to sell it online, but this was something that back in college I was a TA, or a teaching assistant, for a college class about Japanese art and culture, and I had to do this crazy long walk to get out there, and there was one day I just got caught in a downpour, but like I just had to keep walking over there, so this was in my backpack and got water damaged. It was a good book though, but I don't need to read it again. I'm going to pass it on. More books. This book is a Winston Churchill book. Now, this was from a garage sale that someone had picked up for me, knowing that I like history, and I totally think it's cool when you've got an old book. This was published in 1949, but the practical side of me, even though it's cool and it's 1949, I am not going to read this, honestly. I'm not. So I'm going to pass this on to maybe someone who will, or someone who will appreciate it more than I can. We have one more book here. This is Crazy Sexy Diet. I did read this book, I think early October or maybe at the end of September. Thought it was great, and I am happy to pass it on just because I don't need to read these things over again, but it's definitely given me a lot of inspiration about alkalizing my diet a bit more. I think in a past video I talked about my new favorite smoothie combination. It's spinach, cucumber, green grapes, green tea as the liquid, some pineapple, lime juice, and a little bit of stevia because I do like things sweetened, and it is so good. This has been an amazing breakfast for me for like the last 2 weeks now. I think I've been doing that, maybe even longer. This is a toothbrush holder. We were gifted a new bamboo toothbrush holder, and we like that one better than this, and so we are getting rid of this one. All right, these next items, it's a little gross that I still had them. Back when I was getting ready to get married, I was thinking about what makeup I was going to wear, and the funny thing is, I don't really wear a lot of makeup in these videos, but I'm wearing more makeup in these videos than I did on our wedding day. I really didn't do much with makeup for a lot of time, and I still don't do a whole lot with makeup. It's mostly just for videos, and that's it. But I was trying to be super cheap about it just because I'm a frugal person, but definitely more on the cheap end. Like, I know people say there's a difference between frugal and cheap. I'm really cheap, honestly. I really don't like to spend money on things I don't want to spend money on. And so I thought that I kind of needed to wear makeup, or I thought that I needed to have like more of a professional look done. Not professional, but more of a formal look done. And I know a lot of people get makeup done. I ended up just doing it myself with the basic products I had. I had ordered a bunch of these different like sample products that I was going to use for my face. But when I had a friend help me do like a sample look, it just didn't feel like myself. But for whatever reason, for now 4.5 years, I've been holding on to these like 6 different little trial makeup things. It was like eco-friendly makeup, but I really don't need this. I'm gonna throw these away. For several years, I was using this like sample size, cheap, like dollar store hairbrush, and I did decide to upgrade. It definitely was worn. It's missing quite a few of the little bristles, and just not that good of a brush, so I'm getting rid of it. This was an old notebook. Sometimes Jake and I like to save notebooks or save parts of notebooks and rewrite in them. I'm just going to recycle this one. We are also recycling one of these educator magazines. We don't choose to receive these magazines. Sometimes they've got good teaching articles, but we are going to just be recycling this one. A couple lotions. This one's completely brand new. I received it as a gift, but it's definitely got some stuff in it that does not make it very healthy for us or good for our skin. Likewise, this one I had purchased while we were traveling because I had gotten a lot of mosquito bites, and it was supposed to be like soothing for that. It was the best thing we could find, but also does not have some ingredients that I ideally like to put on my body just for health perspective. This one I can donate because it's brand new. This one I have to kind of take a look at. In one of my past decluttering videos, I talked about what you can do with all different types of items you've decluttered. I'll link it below. So with partially used body care products, I've got some resources there. So I have to sift through those. So I haven't decided yet what's going to happen with this, but it's definitely going to leave this apartment. My next 2 items are these tongue cleaners. This one was received in that same like gift set as the bamboo toothbrush holder. And this one I think was in like a dentist bag after visiting the dentist. And at least for me, where I'm at with my own teeth journey, am I going to use the word journey for that? I don't know. Basically, my main goal right now is just getting myself to floss more often because I'm not the best at flossing daily or even every other day. So I'm working on it. But I think for me, I need to master just flossing regularly first before I can start including these. In the meantime, I don't see a need for this. This is an old alarm clock that Jake and I had. This is not our main one. We have one in our bedroom. We also have clocks on the oven, as well as we did upgrade a clock. Now, to be honest, I thought it would be part of my filming setup, but just the way the angles and the height worked, it doesn't work out quite as well to show up. So I still love it, and it's a lot more soothing to look at because it's a white light instead. This was a red light. This is the one we got. So it's tough to see. I love the design of it. It's not actually real wood, unfortunately, but we did really like the look of it. It was moderately affordable. Unfortunately, with electronics and those kind of gadgets, I feel like it's a lot tougher to buy an ethical product. So I know I'm not trying to say that this is, super ethical. I really like the aesthetic and I thought it would show up in the videos. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit too low or kind of off to the side, but we did upgrade and use that one instead of this one here. So we are getting rid of this one. And then my last couple items here are from the Use It Up challenge that I'm doing. Many of you seem to respond really positively to last week's video where we were talking about the minimalism hack of using things up and the Use It Up challenge where I'm trying to use up extra pantry items and other consumable things to try to get them out of my space and not have to buy as much for the month of November. So I wanted to share a couple of things so far. It hasn't really been that long. It's only been about 4 or 5 days since I filmed that video, but we have already used up a couple random items that had been sitting in the pantry for way too long. I had a can of coconut cream that I had purchased a long time ago with the intent of using it for a recipe. So I made up some coconut rice for Jake because we had it when we were in Malaysia. And actually I think Indonesia also, we had some coconut rice. But he really enjoyed that, so I just made a huge batch of some coconut rice, and now he can have that for breakfast this week. So I'm getting rid of this. Well, obviously just recycling the can. Another thing I'm using up is some red wine vinegar. I don't really cook with vinegar very much, and I think even though vinegar doesn't really expire, I think I had this since I was getting my chef certification back in 2015. So this has been here a long time, and I really just don't use it. Ironically, actually, I'm using it for fruit fly traps right now. But it did use it up. And lastly, I had this jumbo bag of some granola. I had purchased each team of teachers has to host a breakfast for other staff at some point during the year. And so I had made homemade pumpkin parfaits with like a pumpkin pudding that I had put together, and I had some granola. I just got the jumbo bag, but I had a small portion left, so I did use that up with my own berry yogurt parfait this week. Usually I don't buy granola just because of the high sugar content. I mean, it's totally delicious, but yeah, got that used up as well. So that concludes the 50 plus items that I am getting rid of, not just this month, but this season here. I hope it was interesting or helpful for you on your own decluttering journey. There will be several videos actually linked around me here that also pertain to decluttering if you'd like to check those out after watching this one. And of course, if you haven't already, you can subscribe to the channel up here. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye!